testing ain't gonna help us, man.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me. Gray skies overhead, success ain't looking likely, but I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee. And I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on
Man, this
me.
shit ain't no joke, man, this shit ain't no joke. Like the boy cried wolf, I ain't blowing no smoke. You don't gotta look far to see it ain't no hope in this fucked up world. I'm just trying to stay afloat. I grew up in the ghetto in the middle of the streets, Hell, the belly of the beast. Thanksgiving came around, I wasn't having no feast. When the landlord talking about breaking out lease, goddamn, what's next? My girl broke it with your boy and she did it in a text that if I couldn't have nothing that I could have love besides love for the money and selling these drugs. Sometimes it seems like it's the only way out, but every day I'm getting older and it's getting played out. Can't end up in the pen trying to find a way out. Lord forgive me for my sins when my heart gave out. My dad died, biggest loss I ever had to take. He a big part of the reason I'm the man I am today. And moving on was a move I wasn't trying to make, but I got sons now, so I gotta lead them not astray. And even though success is looking unlikely, I stay mighty and pray nightly and remain doing the right thing like Spike Lee, which is hard in this life for a nigga like me. All my life I had to fight like my name's Sophia. Always had heart and in my heart was no fear. Boy, I stayed in some trouble always stayed near. When you black in America, that's all you cold here, I can't lie. Some days I wanna break down and cry for me and my people that's fighting to stay alive. Cause living ain't living when you living to survive. Guess we living in hell till the heavens arrive. Nah, I mean,
What it's like for a nigga like me.
like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me.
Like me.
What it's like for a nigga like me. Gray skies overhead, success ain't looking likely, but I try to do the right thing like Spike Lee. And I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah.
Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. What it's like in this life for a nigga like me. Every day I gotta fight my demons. Wake up, thank God I'm breathing. Cause all nightmares, America's dreaming. Trying to find a way to make it while surrounded by heathens. No stress long as I got a coat and I'm eating. I'm blessed and I know the most high's the reason. But my heart's bleeding through my sleeve is seeping. For all the things that I've been peeping. Type of shit make you say fuck it and sleeping. Cause while you was sleeping during the evening, for brothers got gunned down over the weekend. Stretched out in the streets left leaking. Laid out white sheet, mom's grieving. All lives gotta have more meaning than another nigga dead in the paper I'm reading. Baby mama bitching every time that she's speaking. Talking like she gonna take the kids as she's leaving. How we go from kids to ending up in the deep end. Sink or swim, lose or win, saint or sin. Where does the change begin? And when does the bullshit end? Cause I wake up in the morning, gotta do it again. Go to sleep, go to work and just do it again. Damn. Can't pretend, cause when you stand out, it's hard to blend. And what I stand for, don't fold the bend. Cause I heard real folks still got too many friends. Cause when you speak the truth, then you tend to offend. So, while I'm gripping this pen, Lord please have mercy on me, amen.
It's time for my people to come together and rise up. The only way we gonna take our royalty back, man, is if we do just that, man. Take it back. Kwame Yashala, nigga. Time for us to rise out of our oppression. A wise man told me each one teach one. So I need you to reach out to your brothers and sisters and teach them, man. There's no reason we should still be getting hung from trees in this day and age, man. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about divorce, sex, and marriage. Okay, some heavy things about marriage that people want to know, and something you don't, the way you don't want a marriage to go. Who knows a good example in the world today of how a marriage should not go? Go ahead, boy. Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith. That is the exact opposite of how you want a marriage. Does everybody know what's going on with them? You know Kompar? What you know about their marriage?
Basically, she's a whore, his wife, and and she's talking about putting all that business on, on I guess a podcast, and she's doing all that stuff you shouldn't do. That you should keep, between you and him, or a counselor or something. You don't want to put that all your business out to the world.
What scripture is that?
So like,
What scripture would you use to say she shouldn't be telling the internet, which is the public, their marital problems? Like that is not decent.
so like, would it be in Timothy or?
Go ahead and read it. How do we know? Did the Most High ever say that? What scripture will we use? Or what scripture proves that?
To women being discreet, or hold on, let me see, to be discreet.
Go ahead, pull the scripture.
To be discreet.
Online, if y'all have any scriptures for that, pull them out. We got to be able to teach on this. This is what's going on out on the streets, what people are talking about and hearing about. Go ahead.
Titus 2 and 5.
All right, hold on. Let's make sure everybody get it. It's after 2 Timothy. Oh, look right there, boy. Titus 2 and 5 is all. You want to ask so all I can have it?
All I can have it?
Okay, I got it.
Titus chapter 2, verse 4. That they may teach the young woman to be sober. Or Shalak, you want me to start at verse 3?
Start it wherever you want to make your point.
Okay. Titus verse 3. The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given too much wine, teachers of good things.
All right, well, you got this. What's just the scripture you want?
I want to keep going, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Verse 4. That they may teach the young woman to be sober.
But you got to break it down, though.
Okay, come. So I was coming at 3. The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness. So what she's doing is not, teaching the young woman to be holy. You know what I'm saying? Her daughters are seeing her on national television being a whore. And then her daughters are going to take up that same spirit.
What does it mean where it says behavior as becometh holiness? What does that mean?
Separate, actually, to be different from the world, to not be a whore, to be a modest woman. You know what I'm saying? The way she dressed all on TV, it's not, that's nothing of holiness.
Mm-hmm.
And not false accusers, not giving too much wine, teachers of good things. She's supposed to teach her daughter to be modest, but she's teaching her daughter to be whores. And like it's okay to sleep with other men or to have sex outside your marriage.
Mm-hmm. What about the part where it said not given too much wine? If you could get the mic.
Also, not giving her much wine, not to be a a drunkard. You know what I'm saying? Because when you drunk, how can I put this? When you drink too much wine, you really, you have no control over yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to drink wine, but you don't want to be a drunkard. Because once after that, you reach that level, you don't have no control over what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. There you go.
And a teacher of good things, like I said, you're supposed to be teaching your woman to be modest, to cover herself up, to not be a whore, to keep that man. You know what I'm saying? Clean up the house. Train up your children. You know what I'm saying? Not to be no wicked beast or try to be masculine or to be over that man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And also, verse 4, that they may teach the young woman to be sober. You're supposed to teach your daughters the same thing. Same way you act is what you're supposed to teach your daughter. To love their husband, to love their children. Verse 5. To be discreet. You know, sometimes it's good to shut up. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to put everybody all in your business. Your mama shouldn't know. Your daddy shouldn't know. That's between you and the husband. Chase. So like it.
That's it on that. That's it
Okay,
right there.
okay.
That's a perfect precept. Clap that up. To be discreet. And the scripture goes into a ton of other things that Jada Pinkett Smith is not. All right. And so women that support Jada Pinkett Smith and the Red Table, those women are fools. All right. They're going to ruin their marriage. Okay. Because most brothers are not going to do like Will Smith. You understand? A lot of brothers, when their wife cheat on them, they so-called getting into an entanglement. He gonna leave that woman. Now, is it right or wrong that he leave that woman?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I wanted to answer, and I had a scripture just to back up on the part scripture.
Oh yeah, let's get it.
Okay. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 13.
Hold on, let me get it. Oh, Ecclesiasticus. What was it again?
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 13.
13. All right, I got it. You got it, Compa?
You got it?
Yeah.
All right. Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 13. The grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. It's essentially talking about a wife who carries herself, like a daughter of Zion, right? Somebody who honors her head, right? That causes her husband is delighted in that. But and a woman who's discreet, she's going to strengthen her husband, right? You don't have to be concerned about her, being like Jada Pinkett Smith and telling everybody their business across the world.
Right. And let's get for the sisters out there and brothers out there who may not be familiar with the word discreet. Let's get the definition of discreet. You can never really break a scripture down without knowing the definition of the words. If there's a word that you don't understand fully, you cannot break the scripture down.
Definition of discreet.
Mm-hmm.
Judicious in one's conduct or speech, especially with regard to respecting privacy or maintaining silence about something of a delicate nature. Prudent, circumspect.
No, wait, stop right there. That one where it said maintaining silence about a delicate matter. When she talked about her husband and how sex was with her husband, that is not being discreet. I know sometimes sisters think, it's fun, it's cute, they laugh about it and stuff like that. But sisters should not talk to other sisters about their sex life. You understand? That is not being discreet. Okay? I know it seems, because that's like a thing that women do sometimes, and they, especially when they get some liquor in them system, and they get into talking and stuff and this and that. But it is not what a sister should do.
Right.
You understand? It's better if she's discreet. Like nobody knows about her sex life.
Right.
Nobody. Other people don't know. Her friends don't know. Nobody knows. She keeps it discreet. That's better. You understand? That's the way you want to be. You don't want to be like a lowly, peasant who just talks about all types of vulgar things. You want to be holy. You understand? You want to be honorable. Commander Jane, you're probably never going to hear Commander Jane Hanna talking about him and his wife in the bedroom. You're never going to hear it. So this is an important thing because sometimes sisters do it not knowing that it's wrong. They just, talking.
Right.
All right, let's get any more on discretion.
Uh,
Go ahead, Warrior.
So like, if I could, that was heavy what you brought out when you said to be, holiness. Like, because talking all about your business, that's of the world, man. That is not holiness. That's of the so-called oppressor. They want you to do that so you can make a fool about yourself on Maury and all that. All these goddamn episode or TV shows they got, or on the radio station, on the Breakfast Club. Like to put all your business. That's the way of, America, man. It's time to be holiness.
Yeah.
Come back to the, holiness.
Yep, that's true. That's something that goes on and people don't notice. They on the you got on Jerry Springer. She's talking about who she had sex with, who she this, who she that. When all actuality, she shouldn't be on that show. She should have some discretion about her damn self and some shamefacedness, especially in a matter where you don't know who your baby father is. Like that's the total situation to be quiet on that. And them women be the complete opposite of quiet about the situation. I know he's fine. He's 100% sure. The ones that be the most hype, sure, be the ones that don't know who the hell the daddy is.
Right.
And that's a shame. You understand? That is a shame. That's why that's why a lot of people like watching it. Because you get to see people's dirty laundry. You get to see be like, and judging them and say, how them old women be.
Right.
That's because the scriptures talk about them old women who are like that. Let me get that scripture. About the hold on a second. Let me get the scripture about the old women. Because there'd be a lot of who be the big supporters on them shows.
Right.
These old women. It's a certain type of vibe in the spirit about an older sister who's out of the spirit. That's the type of woman that likes that show.
So like, sir, they used to it, in the Christian church.
Yep.
Because that's what goes on in the Christian church. Everybody knows who slept with who. Everybody knows everybody's business.
Yeah. All right, I'm about to pull the scripture. Give me a second. We get 1 Timothy 5 and 11. I'll start at verse 9. Let's start at verse 1 Timothy chapter 5. Let's start at verse 2.
Come on. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 2. Oh, I can get it.
Well, let's start at verse 1. Slide.
1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 1. Rebuke not an elder.
All right. Rebuke not an elder. Okay. An elder is, this is talking about elder in the truth. Okay. If a brother comes in here and he's 50 years old, but he's smoking crack, we're going to tell him, brother, you need to get off that crack. We're going to rebuke him. But, when there's somebody over you and you got to tell him about something, go ahead.
But entreat him as a father.
Entreat him as a father. So if you got to tell him about something, you need to tell it to him respectfully and treat him as a father. All right? This is talking about brothers who are over you in the truth. A brother over you in the truth may be going off. He may be, making a bad call, making a bad decision. You shouldn't be like trying to check him. as if he was under you, even though he's making a wrong call or you think it's wrong. You shouldn't check him like he's under you. You should treat him as a father and correct him as you would correct a father, with respect. Go ahead.
And the younger men as brethren.
And the what?
Younger men as brethren.
Hold on one second. My phone messed up. Okay. That's why I need to use the script. The Bible, my phone is just doing all type of stuff. And you said, read that part one more time.
And the younger men as brethren.
You want to treat the younger brothers, the brothers under you, as brothers. Okay, you gotta look out for them. They're like your little brother. You need to look out for them. Okay, you see them going off, you tell them they going off. You know what I mean? As a big brother. Some big brothers ain't good big brothers. They'll let their little brother go off and stuff like that, and they'll think it's funny. That's not a good big brother. A good big brother is not gonna let their little brother go off without telling them. All right, let's get more.
Verse 2. The elder women as mothers.
The elder women, sisters who've been in this truth, treat them as you would treat your mother. That's how you treat them, as mothers. As you know in the scriptures, you don't have a family in the world anymore. This is your family now. So this is talking about how you treat the brothers and sisters in the school. Go ahead.
The younger as sisters.
And the younger women as sisters. Okay. Now, go ahead.
With all purity.
With all purity. All right. So that's what you want to do. With all purity. Let's get more.
Verse 3. Honor widows that are widows indeed.
Break this down, also Compar. Anybody online, you can also give it a shot. Break this down. Honor widows that are widows indeed.
Like to be of service, when her husband passed.
No, honor widows that are widows indeed. What does that mean? What does it mean to honor somebody?
To listen.
Get the definition of honor. Because you'll run into sisters you'll run into older sisters in the truth and everything. And sometimes you might not even know they're a widow. Sometimes you might not even know. You know she don't have a husband, but you may not even know her husband died. Go ahead.
Definition of honor: high respect, great esteem.
Hold him in high esteem and with respect. A sister whose husband has died. Okay? Now go ahead, let's get more.
Verse 4.
Wait, I got a question right there. It says honor widows that are widows indeed. Does that mean for in the truth or in the world, or both? Sisters who are widows in the truth only, or sisters who are in the world, or both? What is the scripture when it says honor widows that are widows indeed?
All widows.
All the widows. You know what I mean? You don't want to disrespect those sisters whose husband died. You understand? You don't want to, you want to give her cut her a little slack. Not to say you can't correct her or nothing like that if she comes in the truth or whatnot, but you definitely want to, because that's a very hard thing for a sister to go through if her husband dies. You understand? Or that's real hard to deal with. All right, let's get more.
Verse 4. But if any widow have children or nephews, let them learn first to show piety at home.
Okay. Piety at home. Piety. Okay. Now this is getting into like grandmothers. Because a lot of times grandmothers have all these nephews and nieces and cousins and all this and that. Okay? But guess what? You also got grandmothers who out there on the stripper club, who out there at the bar. They've, 40-year-old grandmother, but you still a grandmother. Okay? You should be showing piety at home. A good grandmother, what's piety? Let's get that definition.
Piety, dutiful respect or regards for parents, homeland, etc.
Right. A good grandmother be the ones that be watching all the kids and nephews and nieces and all this and that. That's a good grandmother. A horrible grandmother is the ones who's in the club.
Right.
You don't even know they're a grandmother. She just an older sister. You hear that in the potter's house? She just an older sister. You don't even know. That's a grandmother right there. But she's not showing piety at home. She in the streets, in the clubs, trying to relive her old days, or she never left the old days, or she left them for a while, then she trying to get back out there. Older sisters don't be like that. If you're an older sister, you done been around the block a few times, stay an older sister. Stay an older, honorable sister. You got to honor your age. You cannot act outside your age, man. If you're a man, you need to be behaving like a man. You shouldn't act like a child. If you're an older sister, you shouldn't be behaving like a younger sister. That's what exactly happens in the Christian churches. You would be having a lot of these older women in there, and they still sleeping around with everybody in the damn church. I mean, they shouldn't be doing that any damn way, but damn sure shouldn't be doing that in their old age.
Right.
That's dishonorable. Okay? All right, let's get more.
And to requite their parents.
Let's get that definition of requite.
Requite, to make repayment or return for service, to make retaliation for a wrong, avenge.
This right here is talking about taking care of their parents when they get older. Because if you're a grandmother and whatnot, or you're an older woman, then your mother is probably real old. And she's going to need somebody to help take care of her. So this is getting into the whole family dynamic. Okay, go ahead. Let's get more.
For that is good and acceptable before God.
It's a good thing to make sure you take care of your elderly parents when you have the opportunity to. All right, that's in the scriptures. That's how you get long age or length of days and stuff like that. That's how you help you live longer. You taking care of your elderly parents when it comes that. All right, let's get more.
Verse 5. Now she that is a widow indeed.
Hold on, start right there. Let's go down to verse. Let's go to verse 9.
Verse 9. Let not a widow be taken into the number under 80 years old.
Break that down, Kompar.
So like when it says taken into the number, like what do you mean, like taken on as a wife, or
No, I'm gonna break it down for you. You wouldn't consider her a widow, all right, under the number of 80 years old,
under 60?
Under 60. So widows ain't gonna marry again. They can stay just unmarried. You understand? But if she's under 60, then she should get married. She should get married again.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get more.
So like, okay.
Go ahead.
But is it lawful? Let's say if she is over 60, is it she can marry again?
She can marry again.
She want to, but
yeah.
Most likely they don't want to after that time.
No, well, it's just the he's just laying down the culture,
right.
the way we do things. Like if she's under 60, even if her husband did pass, give her a few years to mourn him, but eventually, it's more it's more of our culture to marry again.
Right,
You know, you were 26, you was married to some dude in the world, and he got shot selling dope. You know, what I mean, yeah, take some years to mourn that brother without having sex with nobody. But then eventually, you know, you need to get married and stuff.
Right.
But you know, if she's 65, 70 years old, then you know it's no sweat. We're not going to sit there and be looking at her sideways because she ain't marrying it again.
Right.
All right, let's get more.
Okay.
Having been the wife of one man.
Go ahead.
Verse 10. Well reported for good works.
Hold on a sec. Where's the scripture that I wanted about? Let's go to verse. Go to verse 11. Go to verse 11.
1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 11. But the younger widows refuse.
Now the younger widows, we refuse. We're not going to have her like all the way be a widow forever. Go ahead.
For when they have begun to wax wanton against Christ, they will marry.
Let's get that word wanton. All right. And wax. So we can get the understanding of this. What if it's a younger sister, she's 25, her husband in the world passed away, or even in the truth. All right. She's mourning him. Eventually, she's going to wax wanton against Christ. What does that mean? Let's get wax and wanton.
Wanton. Deliberate and without motive or provocation, uncalled for.
Go ahead. And what's wax?
Turn.
Huh?
To
To turn.
Means to turn.
So she's going to turn against Christ. All right. How is she going to turn against Christ? We can break that down. Because then it says they will marry. So what is it? So how is she turning against Christ? How is a young sister turning against Christ? Go ahead.
She's not gonna marry again.
No, this one it says they will marry.
Oh, okay.
What does it mean? Okay. It just means they're gonna start doing things that's against Christ.
Right.
All right. What's one of the things she may do? It says they will marry. She gonna start sleeping. Sometimes a lot of times sisters start sleeping with dudes in the world. I mean, even if they plan to they say they sleep with one guy in the world, right? Okay. Because everybody in the school is treating her like a widow, so nobody's gonna marry her. That's why it says the younger widows refuse. Like if we consider her a widow, nobody's trying to court her because she's a widow. She's older. We're not trying to court. Nobody's trying to court her. But she a younger sister. She 30 or something, 25, 40, 45, 50, right? And even though her husband may have died, brothers will still eventually be like, well, shoot, what's up with sister over there? You know, her husband passed away 2-3 years ago. You know, he's like, okay, what is she available to court? Brother's gonna want to court her.
Right.
But if you accept a younger sister like that, she's 26, right? And everybody's like, no, we can't court her. None of y'all brothers can court her. She's a widow. We're gonna treat her as a widow, right? What's she gonna do?
She's gonna leave the truth. Man.
No, even if let's say she stay in the school, what's she gonna do? That's against Christ.
She's gonna find another brother.
She gonna sleep with somebody.
Yeah.
She gonna sleep with somebody in the world, which is not what Christ wants. Christ don't want sisters to come in the truth and then go fuck around and go sleep with Tony on the block. You know what I'm saying? Tony on the block getting high, smoking weed every day. That's not what sisters come in the truth to do. So if we treat her as a widow and no brothers marry her, she go sleep with dude Tony on the block. Then what's gonna happen to that? She gonna say, I messed up. I slept with such and such. Well, that's your husband, sis. Then what's gonna happen? After about, how much time do you give that? Also, about 3 months. 20 minutes. Get a little bit of time. What do you think's gonna happen then?
Either he gonna leave her or she gonna leave him. And, you know,
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
gonna be
He gonna be gone.
right.
He gonna be like, man, I'm done with this Israelite stuff. You know, that was some good pussy, though, and he's gone.
Right.
Or he gonna be locked up, or he gonna be, you know, shoot, he might get shot. Then there's another. Now you got 2, 3 husbands there. This is a whole confusion. That's why we don't accept sisters under 60 to be widows. You 35 years old, yeah, your husband died 5 years ago, but you know, it's our culture for you to marry again.
Right.
You understand? Because you ain't about to be in here, and then we all not marrying you, treating you with high respect, and you go give the box to Cleveland over there, the Cleveland Brown who work at the factory, who don't give a damn about the truth, who go on to Christmas and Halloween and all that, and now that's your husband. You still trying to be a sister in the school. He trying to fight you to come to school. Then he leave you for another woman, or he leave you period and just don't want to deal with you no more. Now you supposedly back single again. Now it's trying to find you another husband, and it's just horrible. Just don't do it. That's Paul already know. He see it coming. That's why he telling them. If these younger widows refuse, because eventually they gonna wax wanton against Christ. They not about to be no celibate 25-year-olds. Where you going? You ain't about to find that. They be talking like they celibate, but that's to be a damn lie. They be done slept with they call it sneaky links nowadays. Where it's some dude that nobody else know, no her family, none of her friends, nobody know, but they got each other's messenger. Come over tonight, middle of the night. I'll be over there. She sneak over there, have sex, come back. Nobody even know. That's just her sneaky link. That's today's term. You know, back in the day, what was they called? The booty call?
That's still the term.
That's still the term. There you go. That's the booty call. Right. She got her own. She a booty call. And we're not about to have no sisters in here, no booty calls. As for some cat in the world, and we in here treating her like she's some widow and with all type of respect and honor and shit. No, we're not about to. It's not. That's out of. That's not decent. You know, that's all out of the spirit. Now, let's get more in the scripture. Verse 12.
Verse 12. Having damnation because they have cast off their first faith.
Now, let's go to verse 10 real quick, because that we really didn't have to skip verse 10, but that breaks down for 12. Because this is her first faith in verse 10. A sister who's unmarried, this is her faith right here. Go to verse 10. This is her first faith. She's married to the priesthood and to Christ. Go ahead.
1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 10. Well reported of for good works.
So she's going to have good works, but what are the works? Go ahead.
If she have brought up children.
So she's babysitting children, help bringing them up, help taking care of them. Go ahead.
If she have lodged strangers.
This is what a sister who's unmarried, this is what she should be doing. She should be lodging strangers. What does it mean? Not random cats in the world, but brothers in the truth, priests and prophets of the Lord. She should be lodging them if they need lodging. That's what a sister should do. She should be, this is what a widow would do. A woman who's a real widow, over 60 widow. Not no 25-year-old widow who, you know, or 50-year-old widow, 48-year-old widow. She still got her shit working, her parts. You understand? Her area is still getting ready. You're hot and ready when she see them brothers and stuff. This is for a sister who's a widow indeed. Okay, go ahead.
If she have washed the feet, have washed the saints' feet.
That's talking about help clean brothers, help get brothers clean,
Right.
Spiritually and physically.
Right.
Go ahead.
If she have relieved the afflicted.
Yeah, brothers who have all types of afflictions, man. She helped, relieve their affliction. You gotta get them some braids, get them some good food. He got a stomach ache. She got him some tea or something, or gave him some medicine. She relieved the afflicted. Go ahead.
If she have diligently followed every good work.
That's a sister who's a widow indeed. Okay, that's what she should be doing. All right. We're not going to have a 30-year-old or 40, 50-year-old sister in here who don't got no husband, doing all these things and then not getting her a husband.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She gonna get her. We need to get her a husband, because if not, she may end up with some cat in the world. You understand? And then you go down to verse 12. This is where it said that after she done, this is the younger widows, they're gonna marry, and go to verse 12.
Verse 12, having damnation because they have cast off their first faith.
Right.
Yeah, that's why we don't have younger widows. Because they can do these good works, but as soon as they get with Tony from O Block, as soon as they get with Tony, guess what's gonna happen? All the work she was doing, done. All the food she was cooking, medicine she was bringing, help she was doing, lodging, all that's gonna be done. She ain't gonna be doing that. She gonna stop. She gonna cast it off. You understand? Because she's with a new man who's not in the truth, and he's not about to have her help in the school. She gonna be dealing with him and his problems.
Right.
She's serving him now. All right, let's get more.
Verse 13. And widow they learn to be idle.
And withal, they learn to be idle. What is idle? So after you let a sister come in and don't get her no husband after all this damn time, she may become idle. Go ahead.
Avoiding work. Lazy.
There you go. That's a perfect definition. Hey, shalom. She gonna avoid work. All right. And I can, brothers, you want to understand this, because this is how you deal with sisters that come into the truth. Paul is teaching you here how to deal with sisters who come into the truth. All right. All right. She coming in to get this wisdom.
I'm talking about why she's here.
She coming in to get this wisdom.
Yeah, I'm talking about the baby.
Oh yeah. That's supposed to happen tomorrow night. Tonight.
Tonight.
She going in tonight. Get checked in tonight.
Got you. I ain't talking about the class. I'm talking about the baby.
Yeah.
You need my soldier here.
So, but yeah, you want to pay attention to this part, because this is teaching you when sisters come into the school. Some of you brothers is camp leaders. You need to know what to do with them sisters. All right, sisters ain't in here just to be ornaments or to be sitting off to the side and stuff like that. Because look what the scriptures say gonna happen. They're gonna wax wanton against Christ, and they're gonna learn to be idle, which is they're gonna avoid the work. Go ahead. What else is gonna happen?
Wandering about from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers, also, and busybodies.
Right here. So you let the sister come in. You treat her as a widow, and she's young, but she should be getting married to a brother in the school. And instead, she's going from house to house, idle, tattlers, busybodies. This is where you get a lot of some of them old ladies you see that love Jerry Springer. This is them right here. This is the things they do. They idle. They from house to house, tattling, busybodies. Read on. Go ahead.
Good. That's great. You know that song? She's a busybody. You know what I'm saying? It's biblical.
I never heard that song.
Oh, by Paul Wall, the one. That's really want to play, y'all. Not a lot.
You know that song?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that song. I heard that.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Read the rest of that scripture.
Speaking things which they are not.
Now, this is where you get your Jada Pinkett Smiths. This is her. Jada Pinkett Smith supposed to be not speaking things which she ought not. She idle. She the epitome of being a busybody.
Right.
She in everybody's business on the Red Table Talk. She in her daughter's business. She in her mama business. She be having her mom on the show, telling all her business. The husband on the show telling their business. She just looking for business to tell. Her, Wendy Williams, Oprah, all them little daytime talk show women is just busybodies speaking things which they ought not.
Right.
They from house to house, and it don't literally have to be physically in the house to house, but they in every house to house business. All right, let's get verse 14.
Come. Verse 14. I will, therefore, that the younger woman marry.
Stop right there. When it says younger women marry, what is it talking about? What does it mean, younger women? Go ahead.
59 and down, not a one.
There you go. 59 and down. And that's even if she's a widow.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
That's even if she's a widow, and because she, loved her husband that passed away, she don't want to marry again. That type of stuff really don't come into effect till 60.
Right.
At least for us. For here, it's like it's time. She take some years to get over your husband that passed away, but it's gonna be time to remarry. But if her, not to say a woman who come in older can't get a husband, she might not have had a husband that passed away. She might have just came in the world with no husband, came out the world, and she ain't have a husband. So if she's 65, she can come in here and get with a brother.
Right.
Shoot, I done seen some older sisters come in here and get a husband. I done seen it. What's the brother, man? What's y'all? Hey, look at my Shaw on the line. He be down here in a jiffy. Hey, he gets them right. And he gonna have them in order and everything. No matter, don't tell them how old the women are. You know what I'm saying? So, but if the sister doesn't want to marry again because her husband passed away and she's over 60, then we consider it and say, no sweat, sis. Brother's gonna honor that. But if she's 28, 30, 40, 55, 45, we gonna be like, it's pretty much time to, marry. You know what I mean? Don't be sitting, we're not gonna turn brothers away from trying to court her now and treating her like a widow because she's under 60. So we don't want her to be sitting here for a year, ain't getting no brother in the school. All the brothers in school like, nah, she's a widow. We ain't gonna try to court her. Then next thing you know, we don't see her no more. She's with, like I said, Tyrone. She with Tyrone, boy. Talking about that song, call Tyrone. So that's what will happen. She'll be with a brother in the world, and then that brother from the world will pull her out of the truth. Most of the time, that's what happens. The brother in the world pulls her away from the truth. Okay. Now let's get the rest of verse 14.
Bear children.
And it's important if she under a certain age, she need to get married and have some children. It's time to start pushing in some babies for the nation of Israel. For our people. That's what it takes. We ain't gonna hold the truth for forever. We gonna eventually get old and pass away. Then what? You need a new set of men. Just think of them in the long haul, in the long picture. So we're gonna need them babies. Go ahead.
Guide the house.
Yeah, be a mother in the house. Help them babies, change them diapers. Right. Help them learn how to walk, teach them things. Guide the house in the right way. Keep them following the truth. Don't have them in celebration of birthdays and Christmas and Easter. No, guide the house. Go ahead.
Give not occasions to the adversaries to speak reproachfully.
Read it again.
Give not occasions to the adversary.
To the adversary.
Adversaries, to speak reproachfully.
Right. If she's some sister in the school, she ain't getting married, she ain't having no children, she ain't got in the house. What does it mean? How would the adversary speak reproachfully against her? Go ahead.
Idle hand. Idle mind.
That's one, but it's a one that's even bigger. What's something that will cut that sister? You see what I'm saying? That will make that sister feel real bad. Go ahead.
Her seeing her friends, her families.
People gonna say, how you with them Hebrew Israelites and you ain't got no husband?
Right.
Somebody say that to her, an adversary say that to her, that's reproachfully. That's like a shame. He's able to shame her like that. He's able to shame her and say, you know, you with the Hebrew Israelites. Don't they say multiple wives? How you talking about the Hebrew Israelites and you ain't even got a husband? The adversary will try to pull that and shame her by saying that. That's why the scriptures say for them sisters to get married and have children and guide the house and do all that. You understand? So the adversary don't come and say that to her and try to use that to shame her. Reproach means shame, to try to shame somebody.
Right.
Okay? So they will shame her. So that's why sisters come in, they under 60, get them a husband.
Right.
Get them, they need to be courting a husband. Otherwise, like the scripture said, they'll be from house to house, doing, and all this other things will be going on. They need to get them a husband. They can have some children, guide the house. Good, done. On to the next. You understand? That's that brother's problem now. That brother in the truth. That's his problem now. Now he can deal with her. You understand? And the school can continue to grow. All right. Let's see. We don't want the school to be like a Christian church. A Christian church got tons of women in there, and a lot of them ain't married.
So
pretty much all of them ain't married. Go ahead, Warrior.
They jumping from ride to ride in the Christian church.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what we don't want. Okay. Because I done seen it happen. I done seen it happen where sisters that come into school and no brother courts them, right? No brother courts them. They do their time, but since they don't have no hedge, no protection around them, no brother courts them, then they can, a lot of times they end up getting with a brother. Sometimes they'll even do this. They'll either come into school, do some time in the school, but for different reasons, let's say everything ain't all the way together, they'll just end up trying to sleep with a brother in the school without going through the rules. You understand? So they'll do that. Or they'll sleep with brothers in the world and then, be like, the brothers left me. That man, he left me. He didn't want to be with me no more. And then, so now it's just like up and down thing. So that's what happens. So these sisters need to get taught right, get raised up right, and then get a husband in the truth. So then that husband God can teach them and guide them, continue to guide them. You understand? With that personal one-on-one basis. You know what I mean? She shouldn't only, just like her, report to her camp leader for, years and years and never get a husband. Like, if that happens, that's not what we would usually want to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's not the usual. That's not the culture. That's not usually the way. You know what I mean? Where a sister just comes in. Sometimes sisters come in and they be wicked. They don't ever last. They'll come in and say, what if I don't want a husband? What if I just want to be single? Right? The women who usually say that usually don't last in the truth. You understand? Because they're already trying to get a way to try to not, they usually saying that to try to figure out a way to not have to obey a man. That's usually why they say stuff like that. They don't want to have to obey a man. Okay? And they usually don't last. They come to maybe a few classes and then they disappear. All right. So let's move on. He said the topic today is divorce, sex, and marriage. As you know, Jada Pinkett Smith has been embarrassing her husband for the last few years. Hold on a second. She's been embarrassing her husband for the last few years, and to be honest, that marriage should have already been over. Okay, why do I say that? Who knows? Go ahead, Azab.
Because she been wicked, she been cheating on him, she been unfaithful.
Mm-hmm. It ain't about being wicked, because a marriage ain't over because the sister's wicked. A marriage is over because of what?
She cheated on him.
What's the scripture? Use the word the scripture.
She was committed adultery.
There you go. Or committed fornication, which is unlawful sex. But for you teaching on streets, you can say cheated. You know what I'm saying? People understand that. But if a woman cheats on you or sleeps with another man, that is not your wife no more.
Come.
Let's get that scripture. That is not your wife no more. That is his wife, not yours. Oh, shit. What scripture you got?
Leviticus 20:10.
All right, hold on one second. Oh, my phone is so jacking up. All right, let's get that, and let's get Jeremiah 3:1. Okay, go ahead. Let's get your scripture, compartment. Everybody, make sure everybody get it first. I got the next scripture. What's the scripture for?
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 10.
This is how we know, because it's in the law right here. Let's see if this is it. Sounds like it's it. Go ahead, ask if all I can have it.
All I can have it?
We have Genesis.
No.
Leviticus, go ahead, tell me.
Leviticus. That was when Adam and Eve on. Leviticus 20:10.
Use the mic and go ahead and read it when you got it. But that's not it?
It's talking about the man committed adultery. Like if a man take up another man's wife.
Same thing.
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 10. And if the man that committed adultery with another man's wife, even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death.
All right, that's true. That's true. They deserve death. Now, I need the scripture that says, if your woman sleep with another man, that's not your woman anymore.
Right.
I need that scripture. You say you got it?
I said I can find it.
Yeah. Anybody try to find it and pull it up? I think I got it too. Online, you should be given some scriptures also. What's the scripture that says, if your woman sleep with another man, that's not your woman no more. That's his woman now. And you cannot go back and sleep with her anymore, or else you would be committing adultery. And any brothers who are in the indie camp, you should be typing in that you were in the class, so we can know you made it to class, because the Tuesday class is mandatory.
Go
ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 20.
Hold on one second. Read it again. What you say it is? What scripture you got?
Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 20.
Go ahead. Let's get it. Let's make sure everybody got it.
I'll go have it.
Hold on a second. You close though.
Yeah, that's definitely not it.
You real close.
I want to say it's probably in Proverbs or something.
I got one.
What you got?
This is the example where Christ told the woman she got 5 husbands.
Let's get it. Go ahead and break it down as if you was teaching it to a person.
Okay. This is John chapter 4, verse 17. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Yahushua said unto her, Thou hast said well, I have no husband. Right? So Christ is seeing this woman, right? And she said, Christ already know. But this woman is saying she's not married. I mean, she has the spirit of whore. She's sleeping with whoever she wants to sleep with. Right? So she don't consider herself having a husband. But we know that sex is marriage.
Right.
Verse 18, for thou hast had 5 husbands, meaning she's been with 5 different men.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And each of those at one point was her husband, and she whored on all of them.
Right.
And he whom thou now hast is not thy husband. In that sayest thou truly, because she whored on him as well.
That's decent for the long route, but I got one to go straight to the point. Anybody else want to give it a shot?
Jeremiah 3:1.
That's it. Jeremiah 3:1. Let's get it. Everybody go to Jeremiah 3:1.
So like I didn't put that because you already called for it.
Oh yeah, damn. Yeah, I sure did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that's cool. This is the one though. This is the one. So like,
I don't want to read it now.
and Potters, I was working double time. Like, damn, he already got the good one. But yeah, let's get it. This is the one that's the one straight to the point. Go ahead and read it once everybody asks everybody if they have it.
Jeremiah 3:1. I can got it. They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man's, shall he return unto her again?
All right. So if that woman goes sleep with another man, should you return to her again? That's the question. Go ahead.
Shall not that land be greatly polluted?
that land is greatly polluted. Right? You can't go to her again because the land is polluted.
Right.
Go ahead.
But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers.
This is getting into Israel. Go ahead.
Yet return again to me, saith the Most High.
Yeah, we would try to return to the Lord.
Right.
But the point is, if a man go be with another, if your woman go be with another man, you're not to return unto her. That land is greatly polluted. That's the big mistake that Will Smith made.
Right.
As smart as Will Smith claimed to be, and all the Hollywood gurus, and Will Smith is such the great pinnacle of being a man. That's at least what he used to be. Everybody was like, Will Smith, man, can't nobody say nothing bad about him. He know what's going on. He could have ran for president. People have been like, yeah. At least all the black people have been like, yeah. Before this stuff came out about his marriage.
Right.
And I guarantee you, all Hollywood got marriages like this.
Right.
All of them got marriages like this. You understand? That is not this type. What's going on with Will Smith and Jada is a normal marriage in the world.
Right.
You understand? A normal marriage in the world. The woman cheats on him. He takes her back. The man, he supposedly cheats. She takes him back. Then they both go out their separate ways. Then they come back together and all this. They take a break and she sleeps with his best friend. And then, he never finds out. That's world. That's the world. That's normal. Go ahead.
Right. And if I could, like they portray that same role that you just mentioned in all these damn movies. Like that's what they do, that's what they live. And also like people are shocked about Will Smith except ISUPK because we understand that he's a Christian. What he did is what a Christian is programmed to do. Like he has no standards, basically. He will accept anything. So therefore she can be a whore and he will accept her anyway. You know, there's no conditions, unconditional love. That's what they call unconditional love. She can go out and put 1,000 rods in her mouth and he will kiss her anyway.
That's not. They don't call it unconditional love. They call it agape love. You ever heard that? You ever heard that? I know you heard that before. The Potter's Eye. That's agape love. That's a different type of love. They always get into that when you start cutting them on what love means or something. They'll say, no, there's different. There's ethos love. There's ethos is like ethical love or something like that. Then they have what you know in the Potter's Eye. Yeah. Go ahead and pull it. Y'all hear it. Watch it. Get it. Battle enough Christians or hear enough Christians get down, and they're gonna bring this out.
3 types of love: eros, agape, and philos.
There you go. Well, go ahead, break it down. What is it talking about?
This is not a good one to break.
They don't got the definitions. Yeah, this is Christianity right here.
Right.
The 3 types of love.
So like,
Go ahead.
and I noticed that none of that said anything about biblical love for sure.
They ain't say nothing. It don't say nothing about it. Don't say love of the Lord. Don't say love of the Lord's laws.
Right.
Righteousness don't have nothing to do with that. Go ahead.
And if I could, and they swore an oath in front of the Lord. You know, they put words in the Bible to make it seem like they, sworn this oath before the Lord, which shows that Christianity love is about feelings. So depending on how I feel, I'll love you tomorrow. Maybe I won't. Depends on how I feel. You made me mad, so I don't love you anymore. That's a Christian right there.
Go ahead.
We got the homosexual love,
Right.
Pedophilia love,
Right.
and sex out of marriage love. All right, you know what I'm saying?
There you go.
It's like the whore love.
Right.
And Jada Pinkett, she explains, she shows all of the loves.
Thank you.
Right.
You understand? So she's accepted in the Christian church. You notice no Christians come out and condemn Jada Pinkett crap that she talking about.
At all.
Not a single Christian ever come out and say, about people who are Christians and God loved, you don't need to be like Jada Pinkett Smith.
Right.
Go ahead.
Eros. It got a little bit. I'm gonna try to condense it. Eros is the type of love that most closely resembles that Western cultures now view as romantic love. The word stems from the Greek word erotas, which translates to intimate love.
So erotica, eros.
Right.
That's what that's talking about, romance and all of that. All right. Now, what other type of love does the Christian so-called talk about?
Philia. While many Greeks viewed eros as dangerous, they view philia as the ideal love. Philia in today's terms will resemble something like brotherly love.
All right. That's love that ain't about sex, but it's about, brotherly love. Okay. Go ahead.
Agape.
Agape love.
Agape is a bit more abstract than the other 2 types of love, but stay with me. So agape is sometimes referred to in modern times as universal love, charity, or even altruism. Essentially, it is the love inside of us that we give freely to others.
This just sound gay. That's what I'm saying. This just sound pretty gay right there. That's all I'm gonna say. So when you hear a Christian talk about agape love, let them know, what did it say about it? It said it's different type of agape loves, or people is different definitions and stuff.
Yeah, that kind, sir. I'm looking for a different one because that one was abstract. Agape, the love of God or Christ for humankind.
Yeah.
Unselfish love, one person for another without sexual implications.
All right, that's great and all. It sounds great. The only problem is the word agape ain't in the scriptures.
Right.
So you add to the scriptures, which Christians love to do, because they can't use the scriptures to explain what the hell they talk about. So they got to come up with something else over here, the Greek word over there, and come up with some words over here to try to break it down to you, because they can't use the scriptures to break it down to you because they don't understand the scriptures. So they got to close the Bible. Well, look, the Bible really talking about close that. The Bible really talking about agape love.
Right.
See, agape love is then they can talk about then there ain't no proof or nothing. They can just make up anything. And then you know, they sounded smooth enough. Israel won't believe them. Go ahead. You have something?
I was just gonna say that's heavy what you said. We had a Christian lady battle us in Cincinnati about what we were speaking, obviously, about the truth. She came and she had a loudspeaker. She didn't even open the Bible. She was like, blah, blah, blah. She went on for 30 minutes and never once opened the Bible.
Yeah. That's the difference between the Christian church and the Israelites. You see, the Israelite school, UPK, we're going to get in this book and break it down. You Christians, all right, let's start learning about God after they close the book. All right, go ahead, Isaiah.
If I could, like Jada Pinkett Smith is a perfect example of how dangerous Christianity truly is. Because in her mind, like her definition of love changes according to how she feels. Because she's attaching, you know.
She got agape love.
Yeah.
It's just a universal kind of love, like God love, right. You know.
But she don't have that for Will Smith. Now that love that she has for him.
She claims she got it, but that's not the real love.
Right. Well, she wouldn't be embarrassing that man and having that bread table discussion about her relationship. Like her, like the Christian definition of love is physical. Like, you know, they're not really in love. They just love the sex. And that's how they equate love to how good the sex is. And then when it comes to their kids, they try to teach them this morality about love that they never set an example of.
Yeah, but this is how the Christians try to combat their hypocrisy, how they really act. They have these three definitions.
Right.
So they'll tell you, no, brother, you talking about eros love. That's love with dealing with sex. I'm talking about agape love. This is talking about God's love here. And this is universal. That's what they're going to say to you. You see what I'm saying? That's how they're going to try to justify, you know, her cheating on her husband. And they're going to say, that's different type. See, she has agape love. You see, that's why, you know, she's still with him. That's why they're still together, but they don't have no laws with the love. Love means keeping the commandments.
Right.
That's what love of God is.
Right.
You understand? Go ahead.
And if I could, like you were saying, this kind of thing is normal in Hollywood. Because I'm pretty sure everybody also heard what was going on with the rapper T.I. and his wife. I forget her name.
Tiny.
Yeah, Tiny. But like, so you know, they was talking about how they was bringing other people into the bedroom and all this stuff. So I guess that would fall under that. What's that one for Brother We Love? Eros.
Now Eros is erotic, like sex.
So I guess that would be Eros then. They Eros and Jada Pinkett is agape. So like, you know, there was Christian relationships and how they view love.
But at the end of the day, thank God for the truth of the Bible. Because now the Lord actually opened our eyes and opened the brothers' eyes to the truth. So we don't have to believe that foolish crap no more. Like look how confusing that this sounded. You understand? You just justified adultery. You just justified orgies.
Right.
You just justified everything under all that bull confusion of the Christian church. So we can thank the Lord that He opened this Bible to us, the light of this Bible and the teachers, so we can understand the truth. But instead of believing all them lies and all that confusion, because we would have been believing half of that stuff too. If it wasn't for the truth, we've been battling with that too. I think I'm into the agape love more. You know, if you want to try to be down with the Bible. If the truth wasn't here, you would have still tried to be down with the Bible. You would have just tried to use the tools that was still here and the knowledge that was here. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have the immense knowledge we have now. We would have, just still trying to figure it out if the Lord had our eyes closed. You know what I mean? But anybody who seek the Lord going to open their eyes. You understand? So, go ahead.
So like just knowing the root of it, where it comes from, is enough. It's from Roman? Oh, yeah, that's not. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I don't want nothing to do with it, you know.
Since you know what time it is, it's Roman.
Yeah.
So Jeremiah 3:1 is the scripture about going back to a woman, even though she slept with another man.
Right.
And how you cannot do that. That is polluted land. All right.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on with Jada Pinkett Smith. She's talking about things that she shouldn't talk about in the public. She slept with another man, but that's what I was bringing out. all this stuff that's happening now should have already been cut off because Will Smith should have left her after she cheated or slept with what's his name?
August.
September, October.
Right.
So once she slept with him, the marriage should have been over. He should have divorced her. All right, that's what would have been righteous.
Right.
But now he's suffering. Okay, why is he suffering? Who knows why he's suffering the way he is with this woman? All right, who knows why this is happening? And you could use a scripture to back it up. Go ahead, Warrior.
That scripture in Proverbs will horse a deep ditch.
That's true, but that's not why Will Smith is suffering. Why is Will Smith suffering? Go ahead.
Because he's not eating the Lord.
That's close. That's closer to it. Cause he loved. Go ahead.
He's not doing what the Lord told him to do. And when the Lord told him to get rid of her.
That's it. That's what it is. He loved that woman more than the Lord.
Right.
Because if he loved the Lord, he would have found his way to the Israelite school UPK and found out the truth and would have been divorced her. But he don't love the Lord more than he loved her. Even though she cheating on him, she embarrassed him, she caused him all this pain and all this and that. He loved her more than the Lord, which is a cardinal sin. Like you cannot love a person, a creature, more than the Creator.
Right.
All right, let's get that precept. You had something?
Here's a question.
Let's get it.
Salaki, sir, can you give some examples of a woman emasculating her husband or trying to mother him?
An example.
Should have picked it.
There's lots of examples, but the real question I have is, why does he want to know some examples? Does he feel like he's getting emasculated? And he wants to know if something she's doing is wrong or not, and should he accept it? Why does he want? That's the real question. Whenever somebody asks you a question, you always want to ask yourself, why are they asking that question? Because they always have a reason why they're asking that question. All right. So this question right here is obviously not about me giving a whole bunch of examples about how a woman is emasculating a man. He has a question about something maybe his woman's doing or another woman he sees doing, and he wants to know if that is emasculating a man or should he accept it. That's the real question. So that's what I want to know from the brother who asked the question. Is there something that he sees that he don't know if it's right or should he correct it? Because that could happen. That could happen throughout life. Something happens and you kind of feel what's they say that you feel a way about it, or I feel they used to have a word for that. I feel a certain type of way. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's when that song came out. How you feel some type of way. So they say I feel some type of way. That's basically them saying that they don't know why, or if what you're doing or what's going on is right or wrong. They know they may feel like something's off about it, right? And that happens a lot throughout life. Something may happen and you don't know. You go to the store, and that can happen, especially in this society, because this is like a passive-aggressive society. You got devils always doing passive-aggressive shit. You understand? So you get a ticket on your door, and it say you need to cut the grass by next week. You may feel some type of way about that. You understand? Is it right or wrong that they worried about your property and how you should tell you how you should cut your stuff and how you should do? Either way, you're gonna have to get that grass cut. You understand? Because they got the power over you to enforce the ticket they giving you. So you're gonna have to. So it's best it behoove you to cut that grass. Now, do you feel emasculated by that or whatever? Yeah, you could for sure. Feel like, man, who the hell for you? This is my land. I pay bills on this motherfucker. You don't pay shit here. That's how it would be in our land, in our kingdom. If this is your land, you can do with the land that you want. If you want it to overgrow with nettles and thorns, that's on you. The government can't come to you and say you need to do this with your land. At least in Israel, we didn't do it like that. So, yeah, you may feel offended by that.
So like,
Go ahead.
the brother responded, yes. So it's either he's witnessed something, or maybe it might be for him personally, like you said.
Yeah, well, you don't have to say it's you personally or give too many examples about yourself, but if you need to get private counsel where you don't want to say it over the airlines or no, over the airways, then you need to contact your camp leader. Do you know who your camp leader is? You want to contact him. Now, if you're willing to share it with the class and with the internet, go ahead and type it in so we can get some understanding and get some edification, because you may not be the only brother going through it. Like he was an example, another one. Brother asked a while ago, General Muhammad said, is it okay for him to go and pick up cafe lattes or whatever and serve it to his wife if she asks him to? Who can answer that? Besides the politics, he was probably in the class. Go ahead, Azar.
I would say yes.
Explain.
So you said pick up something for your wife and give it to her?
Yeah, and serve it to her.
Like take her out for dinner, or serve her like she's a queen or something?
No, like she's sitting down, you go get it for her and come and serve it to her.
I mean, if that's the kind of stuff you into, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead, Compar.
She asked. Now that's a different story. She say, go to the kitchen and you know what I'm saying, and bring me no fire.
Yeah,
That's a
she
whole
demanded.
different story.
Yeah, she demanded. Yeah, but let's say she asked.
If you want to, and if you don't want to, just say, nah, you go get your own fry plate. You know? I'm just saying though.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Well, what it is it's not unlawful to do that. You can do that if you want to. That's not, an emasculating thing to go get your woman something and serve it to her.
Right.
That's not emasculating. You know what I mean? That's actually, not unlawful at all. You can do that if you want to. You understand? Get her stuff. Especially if she's a good wife. She's there for you, down for you, always helping, paying bills, doing all type of things that she's supposed to do. Yeah. Now, should Will Smith do it for Jada Pinkett Smith? I don't know. That's going. Hey, he gonna have me feeling some type of way. I'm in the mall. And here go Will Smith carrying some frappes to Jada Pinkett Smith while she's sitting down. I'm gonna be like, man, somebody go knock his drinks over on this dude. He embarrassing all black men right now. He making black men look weak as hell right now. Right. Sitting there with that woman. And shoot, Jada Pinkett Smith might shoot through the ratings with her her star power or whatever. Like her, she might get a movie deal soon. Mm-hmm. She probably about to be #1 in Hollywood in a minute, because look how she doing the black man. Right. You know, Satan, we liking that stuff. He like a sacrifice. You understand? Go ahead, Azan.
I was just gonna say, but if the tables was totally turned and Will Smith got caught, being so-called unfaithful to her, or whatever the case, and was putting her on blast, well, the sex with Jada is just trash, it's boring, just doing all that.
Uh-huh.
Like the
kingdom would come against it.
Right.
The whole kingdom of America would come against it.
Man, it would be the worst thing ever for Will Smith. They would, they would shut down Independence. They would never play Independence Day, Wild West.
Cancel culture would have a new fire.
Damn right.
Have a new sacrificial lamb.
Damn right.
It'd be his
firewood, so you damn right. But being that it's her, it's like it's celebrated. It's like he's the victim, but somehow he's in the wrong.
It's celebrated as what? What's the word?
Woman empowerment.
Yeah, woman liberation, woman empowerment. And who actually knows what women empowerment is about, and it has a scripture to back it up?
Oh, let me get the scripture first.
What is women empowerment actually about? Go ahead.
Separating the black man from the black woman.
Let me get the scripture. Pull the scripture. There's a scripture that we always pull in the UPK about anything that has to do with this type of topic, with the women empowerment and women's lib movements and stuff like that.
I got another one.
Yo, the scripture out so everybody can get it with you.
Okay.
This is why the studying, brothers want to get their studying up.
Is it 1 Corinthians?
Let's pull it. If you think that's it. Brothers want to get their studying up, get to be in that General Hyman's class. Any Indiana officers online got any are chiming in?
The brother did type in the example that he wanted you to address.
Okay, that's a Indiana officer. No. Okay. Yes.
It's like
The brothers want to get to that next level. This is what it takes. The scripture says, study to show thyself approved. It's going to take some studying. That's why these classes are important. Because you get a chance to get in here and study. What's the scripture that about the women's movement and the women's lib movement and the women's empowerment movement? There's a scripture that's connected with that. That's what it's really about.
Slacking.
Go ahead.
Proverbs 31:3.
Let's get it.
You got it?
Not yet. 31:3.
Okay.
All right. See if I got it.
Okay. All got it? Okay. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 3. Give not thy strength unto woman, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings.
All right, break it down.
So it's like, with this so-called movement, that was like, I actually looking for the scripture that's going to pull down that kingdom's fall. But, like you giving the strength unto the woman, like, basically it's like, it's a tactic of war to bring down households, to bring down the household, the black man's household.
That's true. That's true. And there's a scripture that explains that. That's what you just said. There's a scripture that explains that.
Divine man's household?
Pull the scripture. You don't know the scripture until you pull it, and because you can't even quote it. If you can quote it, you can find it. Brothers need to get back into highlighting Bibles. And you start being back to having when I first came in the truth, I had one Bible that I always used to study, and I circled every every precept that was noteworthy. And I had it memorized. Like where a lot of scriptures was at, I had it memorized. Like I know that scripture's like around the end part of the Bible at the top right page. And I'll be able to find it just like that, So brothers want to get ways where they, can get into these studies and these scriptures, maybe highlight some stuff. Go ahead.
Mark chapter 3, verse 27.
Let's get it. Everybody else get it with them. This is the scripture right here.
All of them got it?
Now, when we go to camp, on Friday and on Saturday, these are the scriptures you want to pull. The ones we going over today. We went over about the widows or the younger women and how they should behave. Going over this scripture. The scriptures we going over is what you want to bring out at camp. The Jada Pinkett Smith stuff. You always want to bring out what the people are hearing about.
Okay. Mark chapter 3, verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house.
All right, go ahead, break it down.
What you mean, like, if you supposed to be raising up your house, you the protector. You keeping these law, statute, commandments. You make sure they know these law, statute, commandments. Like, ain't nobody gonna eat no pork in my house because basically like that's my it's my household. I'm gonna protect it. You ain't gonna be no sinning against the Most High in my household. Raising up a child the way it should go. You know what I'm saying? And spoil his goods. Like nobody can come into my household and like spoil my goods. Like having somebody in your ear, well, you should do this, you should do that. She know, no, my other one's not gonna be okay with that. Setting rules and boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
Except he will first bind the strong man. And when it says the first, that's what the masculine movements are trying to do. That's why they put the dope in our neighborhoods.
That's it. No. That's right. What the feminist movement and the women's empowerment movement, that's what it's about. You're going to stay on the top. That's what those things are about. That's why Jada Pinkett Smith is allowed to proliferate and run and be all. Facebook should have been shut her down.
Right.
All the stuff she been on. Hey, look, we go on Facebook, say a few things. They block, they're banned 30 days. We can't even make advertisements. But Jada Pinkett Smith can go in there. I cheat on my husband. My husband's not good in bed. My daughter's a lesbian. My son's gay. I'm bi, tri, and pansexual. I slept with another man, a young person who's real young, and I'm old. I can be all over Facebook and have new shows and stuff.
Right.
Why? Because they want to first bind the strong man. You understand? They want to empower the women, empower whores like Jada Pinkett Smith as a way to bind the strong man. If nobody can say nothing against Jada, then who are you to say something against your wife for sleeping with another guy?
Right.
Or being bi and try and talking about your marriage. Right. Who are you to stop it? Right. That's what it's about. Go ahead.
It's a comment on line, and if I could, I just wanted to chime in too.
Yeah,
it was heavy what that Heathen King did in the book of Esther.
Yeah.
When he called for, if you haven't read that story, go back and read Esther. But basically, Heathen King, he called for his rib, and she wouldn't come. And then all his royalty was like, listen, you can't let this ride, because then all the women that we got, they gonna start disrespecting us too. So he had to make an example of her. And then I just wanted to read a comment Mark put in there. He said, Will could have sent a stern message to black women if he would have divorced Jada. However, he basically gave hoes a pass, which is the same thing you said.
So finish breaking that down, Kompar.
And then he will spoil his house. So in that, like you let anything slide, if you don't follow your laws, then anything is possible in your house. Anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be no serving the Most High in the house. They're gonna be celebrating all kinds of pagan holidays. If you let one thing slide, man, you got to be correcting everything. Staying on it.
That's right. All right, go ahead. That's right, Kompar. Everybody clap that up. Go ahead, all sides out.
I have a scripture in Proverbs.
Let's get it.
Proverbs 14:1. Every wise woman.
Hold on, let everybody else get there with you.
Okay.
You said Proverbs what?
14:1.
I'm there with you.
Proverbs 14:1. Every wise woman buildeth her house.
Right.
but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands, which is essentially what we seeing. Like, it's gonna come a point in time. It's already happening now, whether people know it or not, like it or not, understand it or not. Hoes is out of style. Hoes is old fashioned. Straight up. Like, nobody, at the end of the day, nobody wants to marry a hoe. You get what I'm saying? It's a whole saying. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife, and Jada Pinkett is a prime example of that. Instead of her trying to build her house up and build her family up, now when you see her kids and how dysfunctional they are, now you know why. Not too long ago, her son was talking about chopping his rod off. Now you know why. Her daughter, like, every time you see her, she's going through a metamorphosis like a goddamn butterfly. Now you know why. And now you see Will Smith, his nigga ain't done a movie in forever. He's depressed. Now you know why. She's destroying her household. And everything that she's supposed to be building is going to crumble before.
That's right. That's right. She, so like you said, that was a good precept. She plucking the house down with her hands, and it goes into what Will Smith said on the internet. He said that he was depressed behind things that was going on in his marriage. What was it? What else he said about it? He said he was depressed that he couldn't do something or something.
He contemplated suicide as well.
Damn. He ready to give up the ghost. That's an example of what not to be like, brothers. Don't be like Will Smith, man. Don't let a woman tear your spirit down like that. Even if she was your woman and she cheated on you and this and that and hurt you, broke your heart. Don't ever, let a woman steal your spirit away.
Right.
Don't ever let a woman do that, Akim. You better off leaving that woman and go sleep at a brother's house for a while instead of letting that woman steal your spirit where you damn near like about to commit suicide.
Right.
Okay? Don't let a woman steal your strength like that. Go ahead.
So, like you said, what you bringing out is such a heavy point because that's exactly what she did. Because, that's supposed to be Mike Larry. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's Will Smith. Like, he can, have practically any woman that he really wanted. You know what I'm saying? Bar that, he don't pull an August and try to sleep with another man's wife. But, he can, that's Will Smith. But he's crying and moping and depressed about this woman that's crushing his spirit. And it's really sad to see. It's really sad to see that this man who was supposed to be like an example, we look at success and, he talks about how he made all this money in the rap game without cussing, did everything the right way. Well, you jacking up right here, buddy. You jacking up real bad. And really to say that you contemplating killing yourself over this chick, like that's sad. I mean, it's just sad, man. I feel bad for Big Willie.
That's right. Go ahead, Kompar.
It's what it's looking like. The Lord is tearing the goddamn celebrity world down.
Right. Because
with the Megan Thee Stallion or Nicki Minaj husband facing them charges, and the thing with the what's the takeoff they even cheated on each other or something. You know what I'm saying?
Offset or something.
Offset. You know what I'm saying? Really, man, I'm telling you, celebrities are going out of style, man. You know what I'm saying? It's time to get with this truth. You know what I'm saying? We're finna take over the rap game. And that's what it's time to do, man. Start trying to be like the goddamn priest. You know what I'm saying? That's what you should look forward to.
Okay. All right. What would you say your son was online? Posting about his son?
Yeah, so the brother responded if you want to take it.
Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, so the brother said, if she tells you what to do in front of her kids and she does spiteful things like discipline my child, but I can't do the same to hers, etc.
Oh man. Ooh. A lot of that stuff sounds. A lot of that stuff definitely sound like red flags. Let's break it down. What was the first thing that he said she did?
If she tells you what to do in front of her kids.
Okay.
I'm getting precepts, sir.
Yeah. So what precept would you use that a woman shouldn't be telling her husband what to do?
So like.
Go ahead.
I can look it up, but the paraphrase is a woman should not usurp authority over a man.
Oh man, good scripture. Let's pull that.
First Corinthians 11:3.
That's it. That's it. This is the scripture you're gonna have to teach your woman. This is the scripture right here. You
First
have to teach your
Corinthians.
woman. Go ahead.
First Corinthians 11:3. But I would have you know, the head of every man is Christ,
Mm-hmm.
and the head of every woman is the man,
Mm-hmm.
and the head of Christ is God.
Now, if the man is the head of the woman, right, and God is the head of Christ, should Christ be telling God what to do? So how would it make sense that your woman is telling you what to do? And that's how you know it's in the spirit, because Kompar said earlier, we didn't even know his situation, but we brought it out earlier where Kompar said, now if she asks, then it's okay. But if she's demanding and telling and this and that, that's out of the spirit.
Right.
That's not the spirit of the Lord. Go ahead.
You got another one, sir?
Well, hold on. Let's finish this one. Is there any more on this one?
That was it.
All right. Let's get the next one then.
1 Timothy 2:12.
That's it.
1 Timothy 2:12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor exhort authority over the man.
Right there. A woman should not usurp authority over the man. Who can break that down? Go ahead.
But she cannot run that household. The household is for the man to run. She wants to usurp authority, but at the same time, she hear that bump in the night, she waking your butt up.
And then that's another thing. Let's get the definition of usurp.
It's a lie.
yeah, that's good.
It's a good one too. To siege and hold a position, office, power by force or without legal right.
Oh man. So now for her to be doing that to you, brother, she's she's doing it by force without legal right. When it says legal, that's legal in front of the eyes of God.
That's right.
So she don't have the legal right. So that's usurping. And she must be doing it by force. Because when she tell you what to do, what happens if you say, hell no? I don't feel like it. You do it. What y'all think's going on in that house when he says no, I'm not doing it?
It's fight time.
No, be more specific.
Domestic.
No, be more specific. Like that's just as vague as fight.
She's not accepting no for an answer. She's not accepting no. She's already usurping authority, so she's going to be the aggressor.
You want to use more what people go through every day. What she trying to kick you out the house?
Right.
She trying to call the police?
Right.
That's the type of force that she's exerting. You understand? That's the force that she must be exerting. It's got to be something like that going on.
Right.
It's and like you said, maybe physical fights, maybe physical abuse, maybe she's physically abusing the brother. If he don't really do how she say, she get to swinging on him.
Right.
Like, go ahead.
And also, she's trying to use the kids as well. And I want to pull a scripture on that if I could.
Yeah, let's get it.
Isaiah 3:12.
Let's make sure everybody get it with you.
That'll try.
It should be is there any more after this? Any other questions on the line?
Large is comment.
What is there comments pertaining to the class?
Wilson.
Okay. Let's get it. Let's get the comments while we're getting the scripture.
Okay. This is a comment. It says, Will Smith has the mark of the beast, a Christian ideology of believing a marriage is a man married to one woman. If he knew the law of God taught by the ISUPK, he would have known he could have multiple wives instead of pacifying Jada with the agreement of an open relationship.
Right. Well, this is the thing. Just knowing that you can have multiple wives ain't going to solve that problem. You got to know that if your woman sleeps with another man, it's a sin to still sleep with her.
Right.
That's what he has to know. Just knowing that he can have another woman on the side, she's like, yeah, you can have your other women. I'm gonna have my other man.
Right.
So just knowing that ain't even enough. He needs the knowledge of the Lord. He needs to know if your woman sleeps with another man, That's not your woman no more. She's polluted. That land is greatly defiled.
Damn right.
That's what he needs to know. He needs to be taught that.
Damn right.
Because that whole marriage needs to get, the whole papers and all that shit needs to get ripped apart.
Right.
What they doing over there is not a marriage. It's not a marriage. It's just two people fucking and doing shit and fucking other people and happen to have kids.
It's like a porno video, sir.
Yeah, that's not a marriage. That marriage been long gone, done.
Oh, God.
It's long over with. She probably slept with, what they keep talking about, Tupac. She probably slept with him
Yeah,
while she was with Will Smith. Go ahead.
So, like, not to mention, we brought out she's a child molester as well.
Right.
She slept with the young cat from Crisscross.
Right.
Oh, damn. He was underage?
She was 16.
Damn, she just a monster. God damn.
Box need a oil change, sir.
Box need to be put away for good.
Box need a oil change. 300,000 miles on that thing. It's all right here.
No, she sleeping with teenagers? What would possess her to do that?
She look like one, maybe?
All right. Yeah, that's just goes to show about her character. All right. So let's go ahead. Where we at?
We at Isaiah 3:12. And this is for the brother, but this also pertains to the topic that we was on as well with Jada Smickett, Jada Smickett, Pickett,
Yeah,
Smith, Augustine, Alcina, Jada Smith, Alcina. This also pertains to this, what we going over. Isaiah 3:12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. Like this, like she's talking about the kids and trying to use that as a.
All right, well, hold on 1 second. This happens a lot when brothers break this down, but I done heard it a few times from the higher ups. This scripture is talking about the heathens that rule over us, not the actual children.
Right.
All right, not actual kids, 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds. So I done heard for multiple times from the higher ups. This is talking about the like Esau as a child that's ruling over us.
So could you break down and the woman rule over them?
Now that's women. That's the women's movement and the women calling the police and the Jada Pinkett Smiths of the world and stuff like that. So that is that. But the children part is the heathens. Go ahead.
So like when I always broke it down, I use the children as for like that's a scapegoat for women. Brothers like you just brought it earlier, you get kicked out the house, you ain't got no goddamn Christmas presents. You get kicked out the house, you ain't bring no birthday gift.
Yeah, but the children aren't the ones who really make that call.
So
So just stick with the breakdown that's being taught from the men above us. Because I've heard it both ways, but from the higher ups I heard multiple times to stop breaking it down that way. So that's why I'm just bringing it out.
That's it for that scripture.
The second part still stands.
Right. And
women
rule over them.
And the third part still stands.
O my people, they which lead thee, cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths.
Right.
Which means like you watching your mother be a whore, like what's her name, Willow. First of all, I feel bad for her name, Willow, but like she's watching her mother be a whore, and then you wonder why she's a lesbian. You wonder why she's doing all this wicked stuff because she's watching you. The same with the son. He's watching you do all this wicked stuff. Don't be asking him why he likes rods. You like rods. You got multiple ones talking about it on your red table. And you too busy living your best life to raise your goddamn kids the right way, which is staring them down which is destroying their path that they should be on.
Hold on. And the part where it said, my people, they which lead thee cause to the air. Break that part down. They which lead thee cause to the air.
Right, so she's running the household. That's the first mistake. And she's
this is getting into the Christian leadership.
She's living that Christian life, like as you can see her mother, all of them is Christian, and they believe that the women, it should be, Christian women should be a pivotal, what's the word I'm looking for? The pinnacle of and a staple in the household to mimic and follow his leadership, and that's what's causing it to err.
Yeah, and the Christian church allows this madness to go on.
Come.
Where are your Christian leaders coming out speaking against this like we do?
Right.
All the UPK speak against this, so all Israel will know. But the Christian church not saying that. Where's Creflo and TD Jakes? They ain't condemned. They should be condemning this and saying, "Look, black people, we're the leaders. We tell y'all about all this money we want y'all to give us. Well, let's also give you this knowledge about this marriage that you all are witnessing,
Right.
and how it's wrong. You understand? They cause us to err. They the ones letting this foolishness go on,
Come.
and they doing it in their own houses as well. All right. So with that, I'm gonna pass the class to preaching officer Lapataza. Captain Abaki. Yeah, I need to bring this stuff out at camp this week. We need to be we need to get a poster with Jada Pinkett Smith face on it, or a little board, and throw it there, throw it on the ground. Stop cheating on your husbands.
ISUPK security announcements. Where the ISUPK started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3 and 8 through 10 means tenth in the Hebrew Ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, you got the Feast of Dedication on November 28th, Sunday, November 28th. All right, if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pant, headband, scarf. With that, imagine, which means to rise. What Panya Hakadam means turn to face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazah, Kawak, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathan Lakam, Kyle, Yawam, Basalak Kabawak Kasalak Kabawak Wala'a, Tabiyan Bunasai 1, Abal, Hawashai now, Mayan, Rad, Kaya, the Hamalakwa, Ha'ala, Watapara, Avalonium, Aman. In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day, our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Prayer for the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Bahashem Yahushua. Baba Kushah. Nathan Hakak. Larpa'ah. Kal Manawa. Hakak. Latahar. Hamatazarayim. Hakak. Lahakri. Amati. Hakak. Our Kawa. Atama Allah. The Garshan. Bahashem Yahushua. The water Aman. What we just said in English. Yahweh. In the name Yahushua. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the leper. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it.
So be it.
Prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Why Yahweh Shai.
Why Yahweh Shai.
Why Me'aka Allah.
Why Me'aka Allah.
Why Alahayim.
Why Alahayim.
Watazabiyah.
Watazabiyah.
Alawap Yohana.
Alawap Yohana.
Ha Alawapim.
Ha Alawapim.
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Saranyam.
Akwatazayayim.
Akwatazayayim.
Hakayayoyim.
Hakayayoyim.
Waharakwapim.
Waharakwapim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
The water Aman.
The water Aman.
What we just said in English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohana.
Commanding General Yohana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
The anointing prayer in the Hebrew. Yabaraka Yahweh.
Yabaraka Yahweh.
Washamaraka.
Washamaraka.
Ya'ar Yahweh.
Ya'ar Yahweh.
Ben Yahweh.
Ben Yahweh.
Auyaka.
Auyaka.
Wayakanka.
Wayakanka.
Yasha'ar Yahweh.
Yasha'ar Yahweh.
Ben Yahweh.
Ben Yahweh.
Auyaka.
Auyaka.
Wayashamlaka.
Wayashamlaka.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Bahashem Yahweh Shai.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapat.
Rapat.
Lagun.
Lagun.
Hagun.
Hagun. The Thurman family.
The Thurman family.
The Sutton family.
The Sutton family.
The Hill family.
The Hill family.
The Shenny family.
The Shenny family.
The Nelson family.
The Nelson family.
All the children of Israel.
All the children of Israel.
Done.
The Wright family.
The Wright family.
The Jones family.
Jones family.
The Blakely family.
Blakely family.
The Huey family.
Huey family.
The Jordan family.
The Jordan family.
The Milton family.
Milton family.
All the children of Israel.
And all the children of Israel.
They're all destroyed of Israel.
All the children of Israel.
All the children of Israel.
All the children of Israel.
Done.
All the children of Israel.
By Hashem Yahweh Shai.
By Hashem Yahweh Shai.
The water Aman.
The water Aman.
In the English. Yahweh bless thee and keep thee.
Yahweh bless thee and keep thee.
Yahweh make his face shine upon thee.
Yahweh make his face shine upon thee.
And be gracious unto thee.
And be gracious unto thee.
Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee.
Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee.
And give thee peace.
And give thee peace.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Bless.
Bless.
Heal.
Heal.
Shield.
Shield. Protect.
ISUPK curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth.
And all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen that speak against us.
To the heathen that speak against us.
Thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers and the school.
The Israelite brothers and the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose the treasure.
And shake loose the treasure.
Of the rich of Israel.
Of the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to get to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
To enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the Edomites.
To the Edomites.
And the nations.
And the nations.
And their drug dealers.
And their drug dealers.
The court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
The prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
The Pope.
The Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinheads.
Skinheads.
Posse Comitazi.
Posse Comitazi.
The gay movement.
The gay movement.
The lesbian movement.
The lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
NASA space program.
NASA space program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marines.
Marines.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airwaves.
And the airwaves.
Cable access channels.
The cable access channels.
And the radio channels.
And the radio channels.
Convict the spirit.
Convict the spirit.
Of any of thy people.
Of any of thy people.
That seek to stop us.
That seek to stop us.
And bring swift destruction.
And bring swift destruction.
To all the heathen.
To all the heathen.
That stand in the way.
That stand in the way.
Or try to stop us.
Or try to stop us.
From broadcasting your word.
From broadcasting your words.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues.
Let loose all the plagues.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Through the earth and consume them.
Through the earth and consume them.
Let the plague shake.
Let the plague shake.
The house of the thief and the murderer.
The house of the thief and the murderer.
Let Yahweh shine.
Let Yahweh shine.
Michael and Gabriel.
Michael and Gabriel.
Come down with the flying saucers.
Come down with the flying flying saucers.
And punish all the heathen.
And punish all the heathen.
That come up against us.
That come up against us.
As we speak thy word.
As we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known by all.
Cause it to be known by all.
It is the angels that have done it.
It is the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media.
Cause it to be spread through the media.
Throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
Sorry, which means to turn. Sister Yeshabia, needs to be seated. Men Israel, we're gonna give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Sorry, turn and face the teacher. Men Israel, Imam Shabbat, Imam Barak.
Yahweh Shem Barakatah.
Yahweh Shem Barakathum.
Yakum Sister Imam. Men Israel, Sar, turn and face the sister. We'll give a courtesy salute. Men Israel, Imam Shabbat, Imam Barak.
Yahweh Shem Barakathum.
Yakum class dismissed.
That's right.